Hi, I am Syed Rashid. You are watching Ahlebeth High School and Junior College YouTube channel. Welcome to my video to all students as well as viewers. Just we are continuing our part number 2, Laws of Motion, chapter number 5, Physics, inter first year or you can say 11th class physics. In our part 1, we have discussed very important topics with us. You need to go through that. What is force, okay? And we have come across what is inertia, types of inertia, laws of inertia, as well as we have done with Aristotle fantasy, as well as we have done 2 laws, that is Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion. Now coming to the Newton's third law of motion with us. For Newton's third law of motion, we can call as third law of motion as well as law of action and reaction. This laws states that there is an equal and opposite reaction to each action. This law indicates that force applied on body A by body B is equal and opposite to the force applied on the body B by body A. That means Newton's third law, to remember the Newton's third law, I am giving you a small and sweet definition. Okay, every every action has equal equal and opposite reaction. You can just remember this thing for Newton's third law of motion, and this definition is standard for lower classes or higher classes, but need to remember one thing with us, and the thing with us is equal in sense of equal in sense of magnitude. Okay, magnitude is nothing but you can say value, whereas opposite 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 in sense of direction. Okay, direction. I will give you few examples related to the Newton third law. If I want to hit one ball on the wall, okay, what the ball's reply? Again ball itself. And one more example, rocket. Okay, there is a few gases which is releases from the tail of the rocket to the ground, but rocket goes to upside. That means magnitude are equal, direction are opposite. Same case for Newton's third law. If we are driving a boat, if we are doing that what we call the hand of boat, if we are just dragging the water to backward, our boat goes to the frontward. And we have lot of examples related to the Newton's third law with us, but just you need to remember this thing. But I want to revise few more things. What is Newton's second law then? For Newton's second law, just remember F is equals to ma. Okay, and what is momentum? Momentum is nothing but P is equals to mv. What is impulse? Impulse with I is equals to m into t. This important things you need to remember, because this thing will help you in the numerics in intermediate public examination, as well as those who are looking to GMains like MPC student. For them it will compulsory helpful in that. And for BPC student, really physics is headache. Okay, because they want to learn something about the botany and zoology, but physics is coming, maths is coming. Don't thought like this. If you are learning properly with good effort, means you can be expert in a particular subject. So this is small terms or formulas we can say you need to remember. So hope you have understood with Newton's third law. Newton's second law, if you forget also, suppose if you don't want to buttify or mug up, second law, I will just give you the trick how to remember Newton's second law. But before that, once again I want to revise Newton's third law. That is, in Newton's third law you can remember every action has equal and opposite reaction. Equal in sense of magnitude, opposite in the sense of direction. Simple. Newton's second law. The Newton's second law says that the force of an object is equal to the product of its mass and acceleration. Simple. What is Newton's first law then? Like every object continues in its state of rest or motion until and unless compelled by an external force on it. This is Newton's first law. Now you have few more topics with us, like conservation of momentum. Do you hear this word, conservation of momentum? This conservation of momentum is, we can say this is also type of law, or we can say directly this is also a law, or you can say law of conservation of momentum. Okay, this law states that the total momentum is conserved on a system when no external force act on it. In such system, mutual forces causes momentum change in individual particle get cancelled and cause no effect on the total momentum. What does it means if we have system with us, okay, and it is appears that it is not moving at, we are not applying any external force to that system, but even though there is an like external forces in the particles of that momentum, and individual particles get cancelled and cause no effect on total momentum. That means if I am keeping a glass of water, okay, that means, and I am keeping glass of waters and stir it, okay, stir it. Initially it is appear that water is moving or somewhat there is a motion in the water, but after few seconds the water appears to be rest, but that water is not exactly rest. In this water there is a momentum of internal individual particles, gases, minerals, salts, but it is not appear in our vision with naked eyes. So or else simple we can say that law of conservation of momentum says there is no change in momentum, okay. Law of conservation of momentum, we can say no change in momentum, no CHANG, change in momentum. We have one more important thing with us, like equilibriums of particle. That means if particle has to be equilibrium, what condition we need with us? When the net external force acting on the body is 0, then the body is said to be an equilibrium, okay. If there is an multiple forces with us, say first of all I'll write what I want to explain is equilibriums of particle. So just now I said something about the equilibriums of particle. Suppose when two forces, okay, F1 and F2 acting on a system or like on a body, then the body will be in equilibrium if there is a condition that F1 is equals to minus F2, okay. This is the equilibriums of particle. Now we are moving to next important topic with us named as friction, okay. For friction I will going to first read few things, after that I want to display that like on your screen also, and I will explain also. So listen carefully. Friction. Friction force is the force applied by surface of an object when another object is moving against it. Friction has two types, static friction and kinetic friction. Static friction is the friction force acting between the surface of the body when there is no relative motion. The maximum value of static friction is known as limiting friction and is given by F is equals to mu Sn, where mu s is static friction or static friction coefficient and n is normal force. Now kinetic friction. Kinetic friction is the frictional force. Kinetic friction is the frictional force which occurs when the object slides over the other object. It is mathematically expressed as Fk is equals to mu k n, where mu k is kinetic frictional force or kinetic frictional coefficient, and is normal force. The thing which I have read just now, I want to place on your screen. Look at that. Hope you have listened the reading part as well as the thing which I display on screen related to the friction. Okay, now the explanation part. Friction is very easy and important topic we have with us. Hope you have learned in your 8th class physics chapter number 2. What is a friction? Friction is a force, okay. It is a type of force, okay, and this force is nothing but it opposes, it opposes, opposes the relative motion of an object. That means relative motion of an object. That means a ball which is rolling on the floor and the ball wants to go forward, that means forward side, but that friction is stopping and finally at some point the ball finally stops. Why? Because ball is rolling and ball wants to go this direction, but there is an friction present in the floor, okay, and this friction force wants to drag this ball this side, and finally at some point ball stops. So this is an friction, and frictions have two types, okay. One is static friction and dynamic. Dynamic not, here we can say kinetic friction, okay. Kinetic or dynamic nearly same, but as per our materials. So what is static friction and what is kinetic friction? I am keeping the marker in my hand, okay. There is an force, okay, I want to just keep this marker. There is a force which lets this marker to be at rest, and friction is applicable on that force known as static friction, or else we can say the friction like which acting between the surface of an body and object when there is no relative motion. That means this static friction is appear when the object is at rest, okay, appear when object at rest. Now kinetic friction means similar, when the object comes in motion there is an kinetic friction, and we have static friction with us. We have few formulas for static friction and kinetic friction. Static friction we can say Fs, max. Here friction is maximum, which is equals to mu s and k. Same. Now not k here, n. Next is kinetic friction. Fk is equals to mu k n. What is mu here and what is F here and n here? Here n is nothing but normal force, okay. Here mu s is nothing but static frictional coefficient we can say, and here mu is nothing but kinetic friction coefficient. Now one more important thing I'd like to tell about the advantage and disadvantage of friction. This question once asked in intermediate public examination in 4 marks. So we will going to continue this advantages and disadvantages of friction in our part 3, laws of motion. So that's all about our today's session and today's class. I am Sayyid Rashid. You are watching Ahle-Baid High School and Junior College YouTube channel. Make sure maintain notes, practice more than one time, as we are some numerics in physics you need to practice. Have a great time. Take care. Thank you.